Good afternoon. I'm Karina Carvalho with breaking news. We're taking you straight to State Parliament, where Opposition Leader John Pesutto is speaking after a federal court judge ruled he defamed former Liberal MP Moira Deeming.
Responsibility of being Victoria's Opposition Leader and alternative Premier. I took on these responsibilities because I believe that Victorians deserve better government, certainly better than the type of government we're getting from Premier Jacinta Allan and her 10-year-old Labor government that has given us the worst roads, poorly performing hospitals, schools that are under-resourced and in dire need of building upgrades, a child protection system that is in crisis, debt that is the highest in the nation and which has made Victoria the fourth most indebted state in the world outside the United States, with debt well over 200% of operating revenues, which is a very worrying state to be in. We have the highest taxes in the country. The Business Council of Australia, only a week ago, cited Victoria as the hardest place to do business on a range of indicators, including tax and red tape. We had Saul Eslake, a respected economist, talk about how Victorians are poorer now after 10 years of Labor. We've had the Auditor General speak about how our debt in gross terms is approaching $270 billion in 2.5 years' time. We've had the Housing Industry Association talk about how hard it is to do business. Our unemployment rate is the highest. Our insolvencies are the highest. We need better leadership in Victoria. That's why I have this job. That's why I intend to continue in this role. Now, today's decision by the Federal Court is obviously a very disappointing outcome, but I respect the Court's decision. So I do accept that the Court has delivered this decision, as disappointing as it is. I do wish to emphasise, though, for all Victorians, that I've always been a fighter, and I've always been a fighter for the right reasons and for the right people, the Victorian people. And that's why I will continue in this role, now more than ever, when it is so clear on so many indicators that our state is headed in the wrong direction, that we need leaders who have that fight in them, leaders who will stand up and be accountable and always put the interests of our state first. That's why I will continue in this role. I'll take questions.
John, will you allow Moira Deeming back into the parliamentary party?
Decisions like that, Simon, are not matters for me alone. I've always said over the last nearly 2 years that these have always and always will be matters for the party room. So I don't speak out on those matters ahead of my party room. I've made it clear on several occasions that it's for the party room to decide these issues.
What's your personal view, though? Personal view.
Well, I've been on record, so I'm not saying anything new. I've been on record previously as stating I wouldn't support that. But that's not to say that matters cannot be brought before the party room. It's a matter always for the party room and the members of that room.
Have any of your colleagues asked you to step down?
No.
Will you bring it on in the party room, the matter of whether she should be allowed back in, given the judge?
No, I won't be. And understand the judgment as I understand it. My lawyers are reviewing it and I am continuing to review it as well. So I'll obviously await further advice from my lawyers. But that is about a specific set of facts. Please understand that the court's decision, which is a very long one, does in no way disturb the decisions of the party room, which took place in this room on the 27th of March and on the 12th of May 2023. They're different questions.
Do you expect to take some leadership challenge?
I've always been respectful of the processes inside the party room. As I've indicated in my opening remarks, I'm continuing on in this role, and that is my intention because I believe that the future of Victoria is our highest priority. So I'll continue to do that. What members wish to do are entirely within their prerogative, but I'm not aware of any such steps being taken.
Maybe no one has asked you to appeal the judgment?
My lawyers have said they'll review the decision on my behalf, but my focus is on the work I'm doing as alternative Premier and as opposition leader.
Can you afford an appeal?
Sorry?
Can you afford an appeal?
I think everybody will understand and appreciate that federal court matters are very expensive, so you don't do anything lightly, but I'm not even turning my mind to that. My lawyers will review the decision and give me advice accordingly.
Can you even afford the judgment, the $300,000 in damages, any legal fees you paid, could be $1-2 million for your lawyers? Can you personally afford that, given the party won't
I don't want any Victorians to be worried about how I'll pay my bills. My chief concern is how Victorians will pay their bills in a cost of living crisis under a Labor government that doesn't care about easing the tax burden and getting our debt down, because that involves savage cuts to services and higher taxes, fees and charges. Sorry, I'll get to you all.
What advice did you seek in terms of staying on?
Look, I've been speaking to colleagues and various members around the Liberal Party and other people I talk to regularly, a wide group of people during this morning.
Did any of them suggest your position is untenable?
No.
Not even slightly?
No one's put that to me.
Do you regret any of the actions that you took 2 years ago dealing with Moira Deeming in the wake of that rally? If you had your time again, would you act differently?
Look, I see little point in relitigating the circumstances. What I can say is that the court's decision today, which I don't run away from, it's a very disappointing decision at a personal level, but in no way does the decision affect or comment upon the decisions that were taken in this room on the 27th of March or the 12th of May last year.
Ask a personal what's important about today, that your actions caused Christina severe hurt and damage to her reputation. So on a personal level, are you sorry for that? Would you like to apologise for the hurt that you caused?
Look, I am working through the decision and I understand, Chip, obviously what's conveyed in the decision, but I hope that you'll just all appreciate that I do want to just await fuller and more comprehensive advice from my lawyers who were working over the decision before I take any further steps. I have read those parts of the decision, Chip, and I'm conscious of them, but I've also just got to allow my lawyers to provide their thoughts on the decision before I do anything further.
And that's where we'll leave that press conference with the opposition leader, John Pesutto. He says he intends to continue in his role and he accepts the court's decision. To recap, a federal court judge has found that John Pesutto did defame ousted Liberal MP Moira Deeming when he portrayed her as a Nazi sympathiser. He's been ordered to pay $300,000 damages. Moira Deeming says it's a public acknowledgement that there was never any justification for what was done to her and her family, and she says she wants to rejoin the Liberal party room. John Pesutto says that's a matter for the party room to decide, and he personally doesn't support it. I'm Karina Carvalho. Stay with 7. We'll have more news throughout the afternoon and our major bulletin tonight at 6 o'clock.